And that leads us right to Dinner Dog doing their run for the marathon. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, guys, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Dark Moon. Yo, everyone. So yeah, we'll be running Symphony of the Night. It's a really cool randomizer. We generally play on set presets, and today we'll be playing on what's called the safe preset, which essentially just means that it's going to give us an experience much like the designers kind of intended in terms of how many layers of complexity or progression relics we'll need to get before we can defeat Dracula, and a whole bunch of things within it are going to be randomized. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So joined by Compacta and Master of None, and it's going to start with a short prologue. And there's a lot of things important that will happen with it. So let's get into it, and we'll start off, and then Compacta, maybe you can walk us through a few things. So I'm going to hit start, and we're doing this for Ruby. So let's go. And so I'm going to start the game, but timer will start when we get a control of Richter, and I'll try to count us in. So let's get her going. So we just need to go and skip a quick cutscene here, and we'll be into it soon. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright guys, so if you've played Symphony of the Night before, you know that you start off by actually playing the ending of Rondo of Blood, recreating that whole scene, and you're going to see Dinner Dog here do a number of things that are specific to get better stats when you actually start the game. One of which is you want to beat it in about under a minute, and start it with 41 hearts. You want to not get hit, you want to end with 0 hearts, and you want to end with the cross weapon as well.
Sometimes.
Well, I thought it was a loose cross. Oh, go ahead.
Sometimes the Dracula, he kind of spawns in different areas, right?
Yeah, we didn't get the optimal spawn.
Difficult. So there's a lot of RNG in this whole prologue fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The movement that we make and the decisions that we do going into the fight matter a lot for where Dracula spawns. We want him in the middle of the room. I can manipulate him into the middle of the room by destroying the candle with the cross boomerang, but I missed, so unfortunately we got the bad spawn. Oh yeah, capes are randomized, so we're going to play some Fashion Souls. I'm going to see what I got here. Jewel Knuckle, Pentagram, okay. Oh, Monster Val 3 is cool. Alright, so now going through with Alucard, we're just entering the beginning of the castle. All of our items that we start with are randomized. Unfortunately, Death is going to take them. But the items that I looked at in my menu, we got 2 use items for doing certain things in the prologue. And I was looking to see if we got a library card, which allows us to warp to a specific area to the castle immediately. Or a mana prism, which will be really important later, potentially. Unfortunately, we didn't get either of those. So now we're just going to go to the end of this hallway, meet Death, who's unfortunately going to steal our stuff, except for the use items. And then we'll be rocking and rolling through the rest of the castle, trying to find things that allow us to progress. So as we're talking about items, maybe Compacta, do you want to talk a bit about item stat randomization a bit?
Sure. So in some of the presets, and Safe is one of these presets, most, not all, but most of the items actually have randomized stats, and some randomized sprites as well. The weapons in particular, you're going to need to read the descriptions to figure out what the weapons actually are, because they're not going to be what they actually appear to be.
Yeah, the description will say what happens with the item, like what kind of hitbox it has, what kind of effect it does, but it won't, like the damage will also be randomized based on what other damage exists in the game. The cool thing here, we got to start with the Leafstone Relic, which is definitely not what the developers intended. So it's going to allow us to take much different paths through the game than we normally would be able to take. Unfortunately, that heart max up is not useful for us, and we have to sit to the fanfare.
And that's
Speaking of fanfare, if there's any donations that come up, we'll let's get interrupted immediately. We'll make this the breaking news desk, and we'll make it a lot of fun. Sorry, what were we going to say there, Master?
I said, so like when you do a heart max, it's a 3-second delay when in like an average run.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the same thing for like level ups too. So unfortunately, like heart max ups, not only do hearts really not help us in this run, but we want to avoid the max ups because they just make us stand still. So this is the boss. Because we did the prologue really quickly, we have a high strength stat. So we're doing more damage than what you'd probably get out of a typical run of Symphony of the Night, even though we're using our fists. And the spell we just did, Tetra Spirit, also rips them up pretty good. So as we're going through here, the thing with safe logic, which we alluded to before, was that it works on a series of like spheres or levels of complexity. So in this version of the randomizer, the game wants us to get essentially 9 different levels of progression, things called relics, like the leapstone we got, or items, to be able to progress to the final boss of the game, which, surprise, it's Dracula. If you think it's Richter, you didn't play this game right. Oh no, you missed half the game. But so we're gonna do a cool thing with leapstone here. We recently did or I guess it's not really recent, but we've been talking about a bit more recently that there's a specific route you can take with early leapstone that will likely lead us to the next progression item. We might get hard countered by the game, but it's likely that we'll be in a better position to be able to go through the game faster. So instead of going to the library, yeah, Cuba Zoe's amazing here.
Speaking of early items, right? I hear a lot of racers now. They get an early Jewel of Open, and they always say, "Uh-oh." What's the meaning of that?
Yeah, so Jewel of Open is a relic that allows us access to the bottom of the castle and the caverns, which is, in and of itself, is okay. Like, caverns are... It's not like you're in danger in the caverns, but you are... like, it intends you to have a bit more movement than just something... like, no movement at all. Like, it wants you to have the leapstone and some other things. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait for this statue to open up for a few moments here. We'll just kill Feline at the same time. But the thing that stinks with it is that not only does it open up a check in the bottom of the castle, but it also opens up... it opens up 2 checks in the bottom of the castle, but it also opens up a check in the top of the castle. So it's kind of like this big 50-50, where if you go down to the bottom of the castle, following what the game wants you to do, then you might just kind of get stuck down there. You won't be hard stuck, but like in a race situation, you'll lose a ton of time. So it's really kind of not fun to see it. Because if you guess wrong, then like you haven't lost, but you're probably not in a good position.
And then you're going to have to go back down there anyways. So you're going to have to do it twice.
Exactly. So we're going to go into this room here because we don't have any items right now, or like weapons, except for our fists. And our fists are very good, but they're not as good as we'd like them to be. So we want to get a real weapon at some point.
And that's surprising with a safe preset, right?
You're not even checking the... is it not worth checking the Wolf and Minotaur?
We are going to check them. So first, for Master of None's question, yeah, like generally by this point, you've probably found some kind of weapon. Unfortunately, we haven't, and it'll be fine. Like, there's enough weapons in the game that we'll find something. The reason we're going over here is kind of a new strat. We are going to go to the boss fight to our left over here, and if there's nothing over there, then we're going to run to the keep. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's not die here.
You're getting hammered, dinner dog.
We'll be fine. Or maybe we won't be fine. Uh-oh. Hold on. We've got a pentagram here. It hits for 57. Okay, we didn't die. We almost did. Oh, no.
Yeah, just get out of there.
That's a
Get out of
really
the door.
notorious room. I tried to do a spell to get by it.
Yeah, 7.
That didn't work. I got some drop there, though. So the reason for getting that teleporter and almost dying was that if we go to the keep, we want to see either the leapstone, or we want to see gravity boots, or we want to see bat. If we don't see either of those and we get something else, then we need to be able to get back to the middle of the castle here, and we don't want to go back the way we came. So getting that teleporter, even though it took us a bit of time, and quite honestly, we almost died there. Okay, we do need to go to keep. That relic that we just saw there is a card, and it's not going to help us progress, unfortunately. This room is dangerous, but if you just walk forward, these guys just jump over you. So we'll go to keep. If we find the Jewel of Open, then we'll be able to go down into the castle by using that teleporter. If we find either gold or silver ring there, then we know we need to go to the library, and we can also use that teleporter to get back.
And the cards are basically useless because they summon the different familiars in the game, like the fairy, the bat, the ghost, the floating sword, and stuff like that. Which all have uses, but for the most part, we're trying to get through the game, not...
Yeah, they're super fun in vanilla.
Okay.
They don't offer us a lot in Randomizer. We don't spend enough time in the game to level them up enough. And they're respectively not that good, unfortunately. This stuff might be good though. So generally we go to the beginning or over to the library first, which is generally the intended way to beat the game or to start the game. But the benefit of not going to the library immediately is we might have more money going into the library. So because we whatchamacallit.
And you're like a fan of like farming, right?
I'm not a huge fan of farming.
But like out of all the racers I've seen so far, like you have it down to like.
Oh, you mean to farm money? You mean? Yeah. Yeah. There are so in the vanilla game, there's a relic in the shop, and that relic costs $500. And which is not a problem in the vanilla game, because you also start with the Cube of Zoe, which we do have. Unfortunately, my tracker's not showing it because I didn't put the setting on to showcase optional relics. But the Cube of Zoe is what allows items to materialize in candles, including money. And if you don't have money in the library and you need to buy the relic to progress, then you have to farm enemies, which isn't fun. So by avoiding the library immediately, if we do need to buy that relic, then at least we'll be doing so in a manner that like we'll probably have more money beforehand, if that makes sense.
And it progresses the game as well. You open the teleporters, move your way around the castle easier later.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not just wasting time just killing skeletons for no reason, at least.
Okay, here we finally found an item. It says Darkblade, and Darkblade usually has its real name. It does, and this thing hits really well, so it's good. Alright, so now we actually have offense instead of trying to get through this game with our fists.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising that you haven't had a weapon in this long.
Mm-hmm. So that metal we picked up, it says metal, but it's actually a sellable gem. So that's oh, we got the gravity boots, nice! And we have the best song here. This is the best song in the game by far. And if you don't like it, you're wrong.
People might have their own opinions about that. I tend to like a different song.
All right, so going up
right
this
now, I'm a Coliseum guy myself, so.
Oh yeah, Coliseum is a banger. Coliseum is such a banger.
The gravity boots are good here too, because if you have the leapstone plus gravity boots, it gives you a form of flight. You can do infinite super jumps with the gravity boots, essentially. Which I'm sure we're gonna see here.
Yeah, we're gonna see it here in a second. As long as these birds don't kill me. Oh my god. But yeah. So yeah, we're in a pretty good position now. So essentially, right now, if we went the normal route, which is to go to the library, which you would have done probably in the vanilla game, we would just be leaving the library right now and probably not have found anything. At least in terms of progression. But now we have progression, so we can do this. And now we'll be able to full clear up here. Yeah, there's no relic there, but we'll check the next one over here. And at least it's a very efficient route through the castle, so it'll help us to save some time. Now, I saw there was a question in the chat about doing death skip, which is a very cool thing to do in the vanilla game. But when we play Randomizer, death skip is banned in most presets, unfortunately. So we play without it.
Do you use
I did open the
when we
teleporter,
start
yes.
with, there are some presets where you start with the form of bat and the form of wolf. Now there's such things, and it is allowed in most of those. Because all you have to do is fly through the room very quickly, and he just doesn't get you in time.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't
All right,
really
so it goes
like a
cross
glitch per se, right?
Okay, block a knife is fun, but we don't need that. Alright, potion's actually really important. So, potions in the game, or like certain potions, I should say, not only do they heal you, but they also give you invulnerability frames. and we can use those invulnerability frames to abuse some mechanics in the game, like not taking damage with spikes. And we can do that to do some things out of logic, potentially. Of course, I'm getting bodied by Medusa. We might need that potion sooner rather than later.
The most hated of all of the rooms in Castlevania.
Yeah, that is a pretty hated room. What do we got over here? Some armor. Oh, sword, yoink. Damascus sword. Actually, I need to check this. So, the item sprites are all randomized, and the names are mostly randomized. Potions and single-use item names aren't randomized. Oh, nice. We'll get the Holy J here. This just lets us breathe underwater, which is somewhat useful. Otherwise, we could drown.
have Wolf.
Yeah, especially if we have Wolf. So this is the
you
other
were talking
one.
about the potion randomization.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm just going to try to do this. Here we go. We'll just steal the soul of that latch over there to open up the elevator. It's fine. Oh, so here's the interesting question. Do we go to library right now? I guess we do. We do have a fairly valuable gem.
You check everything.
And we'll play it
about
safe.
The mischeck, so.
Oh, here's this thing here. So this is the Heart of Vlad. We need 5 of them to be able to access the final fight. And so we're definitely trying to find those. We'll go to the library now, although I kind of want to also just skip this, but it's okay. Let's see here. Okay, hammer. So the Cube of Zoe allows items to materialize in candles, and that's usually just hearts, sub-weapons, and money. But there are special candles in the library that will drop a single-use item. Unfortunately, it's been randomized to the hammer, which has 0 use to us. So we can't farm that.
I didn't even know that. That's something I learned today.
Yeah, it's a really cool
Big
thing.
candles.
Because you can get oh nice, here's another Vlad relic. Because like you could find like library cards or other goodies in it. Actually, we just had a race recently where the candles spawned heart refreshes, and a heart refresh both gives you iframes. Wow, all the Vlad relics were here.
Wow,
all right.
yeah. It's 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 ain't bad. Maybe 4 out of 4 here if the librarian also has one.
Would be a pretty crazy safe seed. And that means Holy Glasses is going to be behind everything, right?
That's probably true, but we might be able to do some things out of logic. Okay, the medal was worth 800. Fairy card's not good for us. Library card's amazing, so we want to grab one of those. Mana Prism's also amazing,
Wow.
so we'll grab that. I'm not going to even look at the weapons. We don't need them. We need a shield for sure. And then, what do we got down here? Gauntlet, improved healing items. Okay, nothing really crazy down there. We'll grab another library card and be done with it. So the shield's really important. We need the shield to cancel our backdashes. And let's just see what weapons we also have. Holy Sword's no good. That sword's no good. Okay. We now have armor. And this Noglamir is also very good. Perfect.
Nice.
Alright, so we've been backdashing like this as a faster form of movement than walking. What we can do is we can cancel the backdash by holding out the shield. So the backdash's fastest point is at the beginning of the dash. So by canceling it, oh, Strength Potion's amazing. We can go even faster. So Symphony of the Night is pretty input heavy in terms of like I'm gonna not mash but rhythmically move or use shield and then backdash to move faster. And the Strength Potion's gonna give us extra offense for 70 seconds, so we'll probably use that against Dracula.
Now, with the backdash, does it matter between which console you use?
You mean like in terms of what version of the game?
Yeah, because I feel like some racers, they have like the backdash where it's like a lot more faster than usual.
Yeah, I mean, it may just be to the person's skill. So I'm actually glad you mentioned console. So we're running the PS1 version of the game right now. and it's the only version of the game that Randomizer works on. But there are various versions of the game. Like the 360 version is the one that's typically used for speedrunning the vanilla game. The Saturn version has some cool things to it, but it's typically only used to play Maria. And then there's also the Requiem version of the game as well, which is like a sort of an updated version of the game in terms of some of the sound effects, and it removes some quote unquote bugs and glitches. But I actually like the original sounds way better. Like, who doesn't know about the original like cutscene where it's like the what is a man? You miserable pile of secrets. That's the best thing. I'll take.
Cat mentioned it like right away as soon as we started.
Oh, that's right. But yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is that it's all about skill. So you got to get your thumb game up if you want to get those backdashes correct.
Yeah, absolutely. So people have different ways of doing it. I just kind of rest my thumb over the shield button and then over backdash, and then just hit that repeatedly. But it's not necessarily all about just mashing really fast. Sometimes in this game, going slower is better because you want to be more whatchamacallit. Okay, that was none there. We're gonna reset the game. Don't worry about it. You want to be more consistent than anything. So in these races, and what's intended in the game is you can perform a soft reset by holding select and start. And so we won't see the PlayStation logo and stuff start up. And we're going to use the save that we just made to reset back. So instead of going back through that zombie room, we can just go back to the coffin that we just had a rest at. Yeah, it's more precise than everything. That's right. Like, we don't want to stutter when we do the dashing because that'll make it slower.
You want a good rhythm, right?
Yeah, you want a rhythm. Like, fast is good, but only if you can be consistent with it. So we're back to the lab again. We need to come back here because there's 2 relics we couldn't get before. And they were locked behind having the ability to jump higher, like up here. Shout out to turkey mode. Oh, here's the Jewel of Open.
Hey.
So that's actually not too bad. It's going to give us some options. It's not the best thing we could find right now, but...
Where your path has taken you anyways, right? You're going to end up over there by the door.
Yeah, most likely that's the next place to go. I used the sub-weapon by mistake. That's fine. There's another place we could go as well, to the sword card location, but we don't really want to go there yet. Because, what was it? Because there's another check in there in that same area that we can't do until we have a transformation. So we hopefully want to... Oh, shoot, missed that jump. We want to be able to get the transformation first, hopefully. Speaking of transformations, this isn't a transformation, but it'll make the wolf better when we get it. And hopefully we find it, because the wolf is cool. But the one transformation we want, if you guys haven't seen this a playthrough of the randomizer before, is the bat. So the bat transformation allows us to fly, but more importantly allows us to do something called a wing smash, which is very fast horizontal movement. And it costs mana to do it, and it's a very awkward input to do. It's like a 3/4 circle fighting game move. But we can chain it to consistently go fast, either left or right. And it's absolutely the best relic in the game. So
and you can, it's not just left or right, you can steer it up and down as well.
That's true. It's just you won't go as fast those ways, but you're right. That would be really useful as we go. So we're back over here again. We don't want to go up. This time we're just going to go right up the center and find, hopefully, a goodie over here. Okay, that looks like a bat, but unfortunately it's not very useful. That just allows the bat to spit fire, which sounds really cool, but it's actually not very good, and it costs a lot of mana. And typically we want to use our mana for movement.
Coming up here is going to be the door that we opened to go down into the caverns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we couldn't open this earlier. That's what this Jewel of Open is going to do. Now we can get access to the caverns. Also, I'm trying to keep up with chat. Thanks everyone who's been saying hi and stuff and been really supportive. I appreciate it. And as we're talking about support, just a reminder that this event's going on for the Children's Burn Fund, which is a fantastic cause. So hopefully we'll get some donations as we go through this bad boy, and we'll turn this into the breaking news desk when we do. But yeah, next thing here is Succubus. Typically you fight Succubus to get the gold ring, and Succubus may have the gold ring, but probably a different relic. In the vanilla game, it's really important because you can't get the proper ending without having the gold ring, and you literally miss out on like half the game if you don't do it. Actually, you know what? We're gonna grab this cape. Capes aren't very useful in the game. Actually, we'll check the rest of these at the same time.
Secret boots.
Nice. But let's see what secret boots do. Oh, okay. Secret boots are gonna make us 1 pixel taller, and also it's giving us 1 point of dual or stats. So in the randomizer, the cape colors are completely randomized, so we can play Fashion Souls. Otherwise, in the base game, capes give you Constitution, which isn't very useful. It does give you a bit of defense, but it's mainly used for having status effects ends earlier. And most status effects in the game aren't really a big deal except for poison. So it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, every pixel counts, right? Yeah, this cape's not bad. A bit muted colors, but you know, sometimes, you know, when you're going on a night on the town like Alucard might, you don't want to be too flashy, right?
It's got like a nice, maybe elven, foresty kind of look to it.
That's
It's a rainy day cape.
It's the rainy day cape.
Yeah, rainy day cape.
You know, I say Alucard doesn't want to be too flashy, but now he's also wearing shoes that make him taller, so I don't know. He's maybe trying to hide that fact with using a more muted cape. So now we gotta go fight Scylla. Unfortunately, we don't need to sing the Scylla song, which is a song I sing to make sure I don't forget to do this fight. But we only need to sing that when there's another check below us that we can't do right now because we don't have an item that will open up a lock. So we don't need to sing the Scylla song. So there goes Scylla.
Oh man,
Do a
that
bit
was
of a dance here.
Yeah, as
Okay, gold ring.
As soon as you you probably don't have Solar Bat, but as soon as you get Solar Bat, you'll be able to do that in one shot.
Oh yeah, yeah. In this fight, if you have Soul Bat, you can just do the wing smash right through her, and you'll hit her enough times to essentially one shot. And if not one shot, then just swing the sword, you'll be good. That fight looked pretty easy, and it typically is. But if you have to fight Succubus early, I think this is an elixir. Oh, Mana Prism. Okay, there we go. But if you have to fight Succubus early, or not Succubus, sorry, Scylla early, it can be a bit of a problem because she hits hard if she gets enough time to actually be able to attack you, and she's really good at zoning in that room, so you can kind of be stuck in an area where you can't deal damage to her. And even though she's considered a pretty easy boss, she's ended a number of runs for folks.
Those past few items are pretty good examples of the randomization where you got a turquoise, but in reality that was actually the gold ring that needs to be... you need to have that for progression, but then you also got a silver ring, and in reality that's just another gem of some kind, and not the actual silver ring, which you do need for progression. Those are a couple things that do get randomized, and you have to know the descriptions, know the difference between them.
Yeah, no, it's super true. That's why having the tracker is nice.
Tracker shows, yeah.
Yeah, the tracker made by Talek it's not mandatory, but it's certainly very helpful. It does like a number of cool things other than just tracking your items. It actually displays on the map where relics could potentially be. Actually, have we done the entrance? Yeah, we did do entrance. Okay. So you're supposed to go through the... Actually, I don't even need to do the jumping here because we have the Holy J. Typically, you're supposed to follow the boatman. And the boatman is like your only friend in this game, like who wants nothing in return. He just wants to take you over here, and he's a really good guy. But unfortunately, he's a bit slow, so as much as we appreciate Boatman's generosity, we're just gonna let Boatman chill. Boatman's done enough work, probably over centuries, being in part of Dracula's castle, so deserves a break.
Maria's pretty nice. She doesn't live here, though.
Alright, so we haven't found any progression down here yet, but we're going to be going down to the mines and then the, Wait, what's this? Oh, Wereband. Okay, that could be good. Maybe a Basilard.
Infinite gravity jumps here.
Now for our other friend, Donkey Kong. We need to keep Donkey Kong alive because we need Donkey Kong to throw his Donkey Kong barrel at this bridge over here in order to open it. So if we go over here, Donkey Kong will have found another barrel.
There's a secret stash down here.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Donkey Kong's coming on over. He's gonna help us out. Oh, whoops. I guess I probably don't need this sword, but it'll be fun.
Definitely don't.
Let's actually take a look. What do we got here? Because we're about to do another fight here. Oh, hello. Okay, well, this is cool. Let's just take a look at what everything else we got here. Oh, this is actually really good. So let's do this. And this one here. So we just got the best item in the game, or the best weapon in the game by far. So this is the Christogrim. And it attacks a lot. You swipe once, it swipes 6 times. And because we have item stat randomization on, it means that the damage that the weapon does is randomized. And we got quite a good roll with it. I'm going to be hitting for 111 right now. And that will only increase as our strength goes up. So we don't need to worry about offense anymore. Regardless of that, I switched out the shield for the Holbein Dagger.
Sorry,
it's a unique
11 times 6, right?
Oh, here's another. Wow, we got so many Vlad relics. Oh my gosh. This may be a jet seed.
Yeah, this is actually pretty surprising.
Yeah.
That you got so many Vlads in the first castle.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow, this is insane.
I'm starting to feel that you already have holy glasses coming up next or something.
Yeah, probably. Like the game has to give us something. I'm just gonna make a quick adjustment to my sound here. Just give me 1 second. I'm having a bit of trouble hearing Compactus, so I'm just gonna up him here to make sure I can hear him. Perfect. Awesome. Alrighty, and we're back. All right, cool.
All right.
We're not going to make a... Usually when we play the game, so where we're going next is we need to fight Grand Falloon. And it's a bit of a trek over here, and that'd be a good place to do a safe split. But because this is the last check we can... Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe this isn't the last check. I forgot about Sword Card.
Oh, no,
okay.
That would be bad if it was that.
He'll be fine.
Maybe not.
We have the
It could
teleporter.
be a transformation, right?
Yeah, that's true. And it's okay. We're gonna make up a lot of time because we have the Christogrim, and now we also have a Gauntlet, which will even give us more defense. Gauntlet's one of the rare items that the name isn't randomized for some reason, so we know it gives us +5 to our attack.
This Grand Falloon is not going to stand a chance.
Yeah, that was a boss. We are very overpowered right now. But to be fair, in the beginning of the game, we were definitely not overpowered because we couldn't get a weapon for like the first 12 or so minutes. Well, I'm gonna grab that clock on the way out. Oh, hello, we got mist.
Oh,
nice.
Mist.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the clock and then we'll go to the library. All right, so Mist is gonna open up one check for us. Specifically, that check is in the library. So we conveniently have something that will take us right back there.
We're gonna have to come back down here though for maybe not, but most
Yeah,
likely
we'll probably
for
have to go
the
down there.
check. Yeah.
Yeah,
man, this
is right.
amazing. This is an amazing seed. I tell you that much. I haven't seen a safe seed done so quickly in a while.
Yeah, we've gotten really lucky with weapons and the fact that we were able to get gravity boots when we did. Yeah, this has gone very well for us, especially that we have 4 Vlad relics this early, which is not typical. So the game is trying to hide 1 Vlad relic as like the last thing we're gonna get. But generally, you have to spend a bit of time to get the other 4, like they're randomly through the game. And so what the game thinks is the end of the game and what will be the end of the game for us is two different things, because we may be able to do some out of logic checks. Unfortunately, the game's going to punish us a little bit here, giving us the merman statue. So we're going to have to go.
That, or are you gonna go check the sword card location?
Yeah,
we're going to go over merman.
And that's the thing, is that, like, with safe seeds, I always feel like the safe preset is, like, the most trolliest of all presets, because whenever I see, like, races going on, it's always, it's always like, it's like every relic that you actually want is at the most inconvenient spot possible.
Yeah, it often is. And usually the game requires you to go back and forth between the first and second castle. Usually at least once, if not sometimes twice. Well, that's usually fairly rare. And in this case, if we can get a couple extra items, we may actually be able to avoid coming back to the second or to the first castle.
You really only need silver ring, right? Well, and a way to get past that hallway.
Oh, a strength potion, nice. Yeah, silver ring was useful, but what I'd really like right now is a whole bunch of heart refreshes, but we're not likely to find them, and I didn't think they were for sale in the shop, because then we could do Spike Breaker right now. The other thing we can get is an item called the Duplicator, which allows us to use single-use items as many times as we'd like to. And then we could have one heart refresh and then use it. So I think I talked about heart refreshes before, but I didn't finish my thought. So the cool thing about heart refreshes is that they both give you iframes to be able to like sit in spikes and stuff like that. But the other thing they do is they also they bend time and space. So when the heart refresh is doing its animation, it stops time for Alucard, but it continues to advance the cooldown time for potions and such, and we can abuse that to essentially get unlimited iframes if we have enough of the item that we need.
Good time to bounce in with the donation.
Oh yes, breaking news! Bam, 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 bam.
Bring it in.
We've got a $10 donation from Danny coming in with "Want to name Earthbound's favorite thing after my favorite thing, AAFMP." If you're interested in donating, supporting this randomizer marathon, you can use the ! donate in the chat to bring up the donation link and go to our Tiltify, the campaign for the Burn Children's Fund from the South Carolina firefighters. And back to you guys.
Awesome. We love to see those donations. Keep those bad boys coming in. Thank you very much for the support here. So we didn't like the last boatman. Well, we do like him, but we didn't need him. This boatman requires the merman statue that we picked up earlier in order to activate. And we kind of just need to ride the boat.
Want any payment.
So this should be something. Yes. Oh, it's Spike Breaker. That's so interesting. Okay, this is actually really cool. Wow, we may actually be really ahead here. So what the game wants us to do right now, most likely, is to use the Spike Breaker to go and open the silver ring check, but we're not going to do that right now. What we're going to do is use the Spike Breaker to go through the room that you generally need to have Bat for, and you use an item called Echo of Bat to be able to see in the dark. The randomizer doesn't consider using Spike Breaker to get to the Spike Room in logic, mainly because you'd have to know what the Spike Breaker room looks like in order not to get lost in it. But because we know what the room looks like, let's go spells. Come on, spells. There we go. The spearmen are just making bank today. They're doing their job. Employee of the year.
All four of them.
So by doing this check out of logic, we may be getting all 5 Vlad relics well before we should be. And then we'll just need to get holy glasses and beat the game.
Do you think
this might be
the last Vlad relic over here?
I'm fairly confident this is the last Vlad relic. Actually, it may not be. There is a chance that it's not, but it's absolutely worth our time to go and check it. There's a good chance that it is.
We still don't have a transformation to go fight Olrox. I guess we could use Mist, but the
Yeah,
logic,
we can
does
use
it
Mist.
count that?
It actually does. So, we'll see it in a minute, because we'll definitely go and fight Olrox. But, the whatchamacallit. In order to get to the Olrox fight, you need to use a transformation, so essentially you can get smaller. And using just Mist, you can do it, but it's very difficult, and usually it's very slow, because using Mist without its upgrade of Power of Mist is a bit problematic. Actually, we'll leave that there, that's fine.
I gotta say though that like if this was an actual race, like Dinner Dog, you would actually have this down. Like you'd probably win right now with the time that you're at.
Yeah, especially given that we did the quick movement to keep. We were in a good spot. And thankfully we didn't die. Oh my gosh, I would have been so embarrassed if we died.
Right at the beginning.
Oh no, library card.
Hey, another
Convenient.
library card.
We don't need it, but it's fine. We do kind of want money, though. Because we could buy more mana prisms to let us go fast later. Alright, well here's the last Black Relic before...
My lord. My lord.
Alright, well you guys are getting a treat, because, yeah, this is a very fast seed.
It means Holy Glasses has to be either... Is Sword Card, Olrox, and then Silver Ring are the last checks.
That's right. Yeah, so one of those will be it.
Go ahead, sorry.
So we're likely to be overestimate, or way underestimate, because of this. Do we dare ask for donations to make this like an old bosses run or something? Because we are just flying through this thing. I won't be sad if you guys make me go and fight all the bosses.
We could, if you so chose. That's how much do you want per? Like, do you want to just do a single flag, or do you want to be like donate a certain amount to add a boss on?
Absolutely. Look, yeah, we can auction off bosses.
Okay, guys, donate $15 a boss. Let's say that.
Let's do it. Let's get the breaking news desk open up here.
We still got a whole second castle full of bosses.
Yeah. So I guess our optional bosses are going to be
75 for Galamoth.
Yeah, 75 for Galamoth. That's right. That's the boss you want to see, guys. Fighting Galamoth in the normal game is very tricky. You're essentially intended to have a specific item that allows you to absorb lightning damage, or I guess it's thunder. How many bosses total at this point? Yeah. So we have to fight. We have to fight Medusa at this point. So we'll say that Medusa is doesn't count, and we also have to fight Aurochs. But at this point we don't need to fight Darkwing Bat, Akmadon. We don't have to fight Castlevania 3 Trio, Beelzebub, Creature,
5,
Death,
6,
Doppelganger 40,
7,
or everyone's favorite Galmoth.
8,
well, Softnum just donated 15 to add a boss, so go add a boss.
Let's go! Breaking news!
Wolf and Minotaur as well, but I feel like that one might be a little bit boring. We should maybe go second castle bosses.
That's true. Or we could just go and fight them. We could go fight them with our fists. It's actually a pretty cool setup. But we may not be able to, depending on where Holy Glasses is. Tell you what, if we have to go back to the center of the castle, we'll go and fight those guys. Unless the donor had a specific boss in mind.
They didn't. They just said add a boss, so definitely an optional one. It's one that you don't need to fight.
Okay, well, we didn't need to fight this guy, unfortunately. That's fine.
You didn't know that one, though.
Oh, yeah.
True, yeah, we didn't know this one. So, see, we got to use Mist to get through here. It takes up a lot of MP, but if we mash the mist button, we sometimes get some freebies. Oh, let's get a big bag of cash. There we go.
Bag.
Oh, so Silver Ring was intended. Okay. So Silver Ring might be its vanilla location, and then we'll need to go into the center of the castle, or it'll be Holy Glasses, and we will bounce out of here.
Mm.
Oops. Come on, jumping. Jumping is hard.
Bird's the true boss.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially in this game, the bards can be quite difficult, especially in the keep. The flea riders, oh boy, they are a boss. All right, so we got the goggles. They're actually the holy glasses, and just because we have item randomization on, it says goggles. So we'll go back to the keep, and then we will go see our friend Richter, a required boss. But we don't want to kill Richter. Richter is a cool guy. We played him in the beginning of the game, so we'd like him to live. And so these holy glasses are going to allow us to see through like a little bit of a curse. And we'll instead fight this green orb that goes around Richter, containing the Dark Priest shaft. And we'll be able to get access to the second castle. So maybe while we're going here, unless there's a donation to read, if anyone is interested in the randomizer, you can find it on soten.io. And if you go onto YouTube and Google God's Child or God's 666 Child, he's got an amazing tutorial for setting up the randomizer. And he'll walk you through everything.
We're actually posting the links to the Soten.io and our Discord, the long library, in the chat there, which is awesome.
Oh, sweet.
That set up.
Let's see if we got anything else fun here.
And shout out to your own set of videos on YouTube where you walk through multiple different elements of the randomizer and just how to play it and get better at it.
Yeah, those are cool too. Hold on, I forgot I was doing this too. Okay, so that was Shaft. So what happened there was Shaft doesn't have Shaft doesn't have health. He has like hit points, and he needs to be hit a certain amount of times, no matter how much damage you do. So doing those two spells enables enough hits to be able to beat the Shaft Orb before Richter can even fight us, which is good because Richter is a bit of a tank.
There's another thing I learned today. I didn't know that it was a number of hits.
Yeah, so no matter how much damage you do, you can always succeed at the fight.
Is that why Soul Steel is so good against it? It just hits multiple times?
Exactly. And the Soul Steel doesn't stop time like the other spells do. So the Summon Spirit can do work while you're while the Soul Steel is going on.
I just knew the strat. I didn't know why the strat worked.
So what we'll do here is oh, actually I can't go this way. I need to go the other way. We're not going to fight Darkwing Bat. Actually, maybe no, we won't fight Darkwing Bat. If we're going to do an optional boss, we'll give them a better optional boss than Darkwing Bat. We'll give them, like, Aquadon or something like that. We won't need that well, actually, we better open this teleporter in case we do get enough donations that we need to come back and fight Darkwing Bat.
So far, just the one bonus boss so far that people have paid for, but
Nice.
do donate. We have the donate link in the thing. And remember, all your money goes to the Burnt Children's Fund for the South Carolina firefighters. It's for a good cause, and fighting bosses is also a good cause.
Absolutely. So we're going to come up to our only required boss before the end of the game right now, based on the relics that we have, is Medusa.
We just got a raid of 45 people.
Oh, nice. Welcome, Raiders.
Hello, Wef Jepster.
So Medusa's not too bad. Well, especially with the weapon we have, we might turn this weapon off. Actually, that's exactly what we'll do. We're going to make this a bit more interesting because we're going to tear through every boss with this weapon. So let's just give ourselves something reasonable. What do we got here? Holy Sword's pretty reasonable. Yeah, we'll save Holy Sword. And then it'll let the whole beam dagger shine brightly as well.
Now, that is a blade I choose over the Chris Agrim. I tell you that much. I like the whole beam dagger because of, you know, the aesthetic it gives off when it slashes.
Absolutely. Whole beam dagger, in my mind, is in this preset one of the best items because it just solves so many problems. We can backdash cancel with the whole beam dagger, and we can effectively dual wield. So we can swing the whole beam dagger at the same time we swing our other weapon, and so we get a ton of offense out of it. So our first optional boss will be Akmadon here. So Akmadon is a mummy, and he's actually a bit of a problem. He can poison us, which is going to double the damage that we take, more or less. And it's also going to decrease the damage that we deal. And he deals a lot of damage to us already. And he has a command grab that can
It is a command grab.
that can like toss us around the room. He's pretty much Zangief.
Yeah.
And actually, as such, I'll probably heal before fighting him because we need to get pretty close to him and may get Zangiefed. And my defense isn't great. Actually, we can make it better. I'm sure this morning set will give us enough health. We'll just have a... Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe some strawberries. There we go. We're getting better. So food is randomized in the game as well. I know I have a... Oh, I thought I had a thing. Oh, we don't want the poisonous mushroom. All right. Oh, no, we do have a potion. We can just down that. That's fine. And we were using the...
Holy.
Oh, no. Yeah, holy and the... What was the other weapon? Oh, my gosh. Where is it? Where is our... Short sword. Okay, yeah, it's bad boy. Okay, here we go. So, thankfully for us, he doesn't like holy damage, so it might be easy. But if he hits me with one of those, you'll deal a lot of damage, even with our high defense. You may be able to... Oh, we got to avoid this. So this is the problem. And we're going to try to use fire damage on him because he doesn't like that. There we go. Nice.
Oh, wow.
So we dealt enough damage.
I thought it would take more hits, actually.
Yeah, I did too, but he's weak to holy damage and to fire damage that we just did coming into him. So that helped out. But that was actually kind of dangerous. If that yellow cloud hit us, it would be a problem. And if he did the Zangief toss, that'd also be problematic. So that's the Echo of Bat that we're supposed to have.
Yeah, actually, a point to doing more bosses is we still haven't found Bat yet. Or any of
that
the
is true.
From that point. So the more bosses we do, the more likely we are to find Bat.
Add a boss for only $15.
Yeah, and at this point, the final Vlad would be somewhere in the most inconvenient spot because you're gonna end up getting Bat.
Yeah, the game did intend us to get Bat, but we did out of logic. Whoops.
You're gonna go through here without the...
Yeah, we didn't turn Spike Breaker back on, so we gotta just deal with these spikes. So we're about to approach Shaft, so if we don't get our dono, we'll just go into into that fight.
We'll cut off at that clock room, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
In case we get one, I'll open up this teleporter in case we need to go back.
There you go. Get your donations in now. $15 for a boss. We only have a few seconds left before the Shaft fight.
And the next boss would be pretty cool. So you fight 3 friends of yours or copies of 3 friends of yours from a previous game. So Trevor, Sypha, and Grant.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
I'm gonna donate some right now.
Oh, you're doing it right now? Yeah, okay, then we're doing it.
I'm gonna add 2 bosses.
Ooh.
LFG.
Okay, here we go. Let's make sure I don't die. Oh yeah, I don't have any healing. Hold on. Wait. Yo. Okay. And okay, so we're fine. We can use our mana prisms to get back some mana, and then we can use that mana to do some soul steals.
It's a good thing I got my phone here because they need.
It was only a little bit though. This will give us more. Or maybe not, too. So this is the awkward part of it. So we actually do need to get health here. The guy above is very scary, and we don't have a lot of health. Typically, this isn't a problem because you would just fly through this area with there we go, get an extra thing there. Okay, we'll do this one more time. Usually you'd fly through with bat or with mist if we had full mist, but unfortunately we don't have those. So I'm gonna reset the room one more time, and we have to essentially do a dive kick off of this big scary ghost man.
It's his official name.
That's real.
Okay, this is
Ooh.
fine. Oh my
Oh,
god!
shit.
Yo, we're still good. We're still good.
Sorry.
We're still good. Okay, we're still good. It's fine. Wow, that's actually
but
it's really hard to get
rolls.
through those areas. Okay.
Okay. Compacted D comes in with a $30 donation saying to add 2 bosses, the trio and B.
Oh, let's go! Breaking news! Bip, 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 bip. All right, let's unequip the mana prisms. Okay, so we avoided disaster. We didn't die.
Yeah, one is at 0.
He had 3. There were still 2 to go.
And we'll save just in case. Because the way our run was going so well until we ran out of life. So we'll get some extra life here. Yeah, we only need 1 HP, exactly. The rest of it is just optional. So CV Trio is can be a difficult fight because there's like 3 of them at the same time, and they all kind of come at you at different angles. Grant's gonna like throw daggers at us from the ceiling. That's not gonna be too big of a problem. Trevor's a bit of a problem because he's a bit of a tank, and he kind of zones us with his whip. And Sypha, when she comes over, she can attack in a very large area with her ice attack. We hope that she uses the fire attack. And looks like we're gonna get it, which is great. And now I can actually show off also using 2 weapons at once. There we go. So we'll get out of the room so we can reduce some lag and go back in. What do we got over here? Oh, just a card, boo. And now we'll go fight bees. Wait, I gotta get through these guys as well. Usually you're supposed to have transformations and such. But we're just gonna get a bit of life before we go after these guys, because they do hit like a truck, and we're not really well equipped with this setup to deal with them. I could always put the Chrysogram on and then deal with them immediately, but those halberds hit for a lot, even with our high defense. We can just drag them over here and it's fine. There we go, okay.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
So this room is very much a pain, but so we want to get to Beelzebub as quickly as possible, and the way to do that is to go through this room, which is full of all these imps that can take control of us and essentially make us stand still and slash. So we're gonna just try to outpace them. In some cases where we're able to. Oh, there we go. We'll slash and no, don't grab me, don't grab me, don't grab me. And again, this is usually very fast if you have bat and all that stuff. You can just climb up against the ceiling. Oh, is this an actual heart refresh? No, resist fire, boo.
But still much better than I would have done. That was, without bat, I feel like that was pretty clean.
Yeah, it's usually a mess. That room,
Once
if
you
you
get
don't
hit.
have a good transformation, yeah. You lose your forward momentum and it's all over. So Bees is a huge boss. We only need to defeat the chest. And if we defeat other pieces of him, more flies will show up. So we're actually just gonna try to hit him up top here. And then less of these flies will show up. It's a bit of a problem of a boss because if we don't kill him in that manner and more flies show up, then it'll kind of zone us from being able to deal damage, especially because we don't have bat. And we didn't see it, but oh, there's Silver Ring. But if he drops these worms from his body, you can get poisoned, and the flies themselves generally do a lot of damage, and then that's doubled. So you may be able to survive 1 or 2 fly hits, and then after that, it's pretty much all over.
Karant comes in with $30 saying, I'd like to order 2 bosses with a side of fries and a large soda, please.
Absolutely. Breaking news. Speaking of flies, these flies are invisible. Oh, this one's going to hit me yet. So for 2 bosses, let's see. So our next bosses are going to be Creature. Or maybe we won't fight Creature because Creature is going to be very slow. So why don't we go and fight Doppelganger 40, because that's an interesting fight, and we'll fight Death. Oh, the other interesting thing we need to do is we actually need to get through these Guardians, which isn't going to be free. We better save here. So remember, the game intends you, normally, to have all sorts of transformations before you get to the second castle. And we only have part of Mist. So there's these Guardians here who do tons of damage. And they're very difficult to get around. We're going to try to dive kick off of them. But they've ended quite a lot of runs. So to mitigate their impact, we're going to put back on the Mana Prism, because we can get some iframes if it gets bad. Wish me luck. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. And now we need to do this room all over again, because here's the clock room, which we will eventually... Oh, it's going to do the cutscene here. But this is the clock room we need to get back to defeat Dracula, but we'll obviously go buy it to meet the donation incentives. But yeah, so the we'll need to go through the next room, which has 3 people in it again, and 2 of them are Guardians, the ones with the huge swords, who can absolutely destroy us. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now that may have looked easy, but if it goes wrong there, it goes horribly wrong, and yeah, it ends so many runs. It was one of the difficult things when safe first became a preset, or really just presets that didn't give you a lot of transformations early, was trying to get through the room and somehow not die.
Do you think that Bat is at the Holy Glass's location? Since you
It
just
probably
got the,
is.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bat is probably there because we've seen Echo of Bat, and the game probably wants to give us Bat last to get the final Vlad relic that we got out of Logic. So we'll climb up here and we'll fight Doppelganger 40, who's actually a really cool fight. It's not going to be a problem for us because we can manipulate Doppelganger 40. But in the base game, it's pretty much like fighting yourself, except that Doppelganger 40 is ready for it. So Doppelganger 40 uses 2 swords. One that poisons you, and that makes you deal less damage and take more damage. And the other one turns you into stone. Hopefully we won't get hit by either of those. Because
so he's like the Witcher then.
Yeah, exactly. So Doppelganger is going to jump into us anytime we jump away from him. And we can use that to turn around and then slash him. If we kept the whatchamacallit, if we kept the stopwatch item, we could just freeze him in place, but unfortunately we didn't keep that. So it's an interesting...
What kind of damage are you doing to him right now?
I'm not sure because we don't have the Spirit Orb, but like I'm doing holy damage, but he's not weak to any particular element, just like you are. He'll showcase, like, he'll look different when you hit him with different elements, but it's just a visual effect. We'll go and check what the relic is over here, mainly because then we have to do this room, which is fun. So these octopuses are very annoying. And unfortunately, Alucard's dive kick is very bad. It's not very consistent. So it's hard to actually perform this room without getting hit. Yeah, see, like right there. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad, all things considered. All right, so now we're going to see Death. But for another $15 dues, we can go and see Galamoth. And boy, oh boy, is Galamoth a fight. Actually, we do need to actually get to Galamoth first. We'll keep the Mana Prism on, actually. So this other room is another example of a place where you should have, like, transformations, and we don't. So this will be fine, I think. These Rock Knights are actually very deadly. Wow, I must have got crit on him. We're going to reset this room. So behind the Rock Knight is a Venus Weed, who is quite powerful as well. But the Venus Weed has a thing where it takes the Venus Weed a bit of time to get set up. We should be okay. This is fine. Again, you're supposed to be able to not have to worry about like you can just fly through these guys is the intended way. There we go. All right, so we got through that, and now we'll go and fight Death. So Death's got 2 phases. The first phase, Death has actually a number of attacks that we typically don't see because we defeat Death so quickly.
He's actually one of my favorite bosses in the game.
Yeah, he's pretty interesting.
I think he's pretty cool. I don't even know if it's the fight necessarily. I think he looks kind of cool.
He does look cool.
I think he's neat.
There we go. I made the second form. So we have to watch out for these things. They do quite a bit of damage. The biggest thing, though, is he actually has a desperation attack. If we were to get hit by those scythes as he dropped them, it would deal damage and enough to kill you. Maybe not kill me right now, but certainly enough to if we were on lower health. So it looks like that's going to be it then for our extra bosses, unless we've got a last-minute dono, because we're going to be coming up to a teleporter that would bring us back to the regular castle.
Yeah, we don't yet, but I mean, you said cutoff was the clock room, so we got.
That's true. I will go back, guys. For charity, I will go back. Not a problem.
So you got just a couple more minutes. If you want to see any more bosses, donate $15 per boss and get them in.
I'll even go back to the first castle. We can go and fight Minotaur and Werewolf. We probably have enough time too, because of the how fast the seed went. So we need to go back through the room with the spooky ghost guy. But thankfully we don't need to go past him this time. We can just go by him, so it shouldn't be as much of a problem as it was the first time around. If we were to equip the Mana Prism, it would be cool, so we can do this room a bit faster than we did before. And just abuse some iframes. There we go. Alright, there we go. So now we're just off through these rooms, and we'll be at the clock room.
So I'm noticing that you're doing something here that I don't think I've caught my eye before. And that's when you're doing the gravity jump, when you bonk your head, you're like mistransforming real quick. Does that reduce the number of frames, like the slowdown from the gravity jump?
Essentially, yeah. So if we bonk with the gravity boots, like we hit the ceiling, and we'll just save just for safety up here. But yeah, like it's faster to turn into mist and back than to bonk against the ceiling, and like Alucard just kind of hangs there for a second. It's not a huge optimization, but it's certainly a bit convenient.
It all adds up when we're racing.
Absolutely, it does. So if you do want to race and you want to join us, so Compacto mentioned, or I can't remember if it was Compacto Master. Sorry, I'm been thinking too much about Randomizer. But yeah, we have a number of tutorials on YouTube. Just YouTube Dinner Dog, and you should be able to find them. And then, like I said, God666 Child has a great tutorial on how to set up the randomizer. And we hang out in the Long Library Discord, which you can find on Zone.io. So we're going to dual wield against Shaft here. Go. avoid these. There we go. So ironically, we have to fight Shaft and then Dracula. Shaft is definitely the bigger problem. The Shaft has a lot of defense and a lot of moves that are both hit very hard and are difficult to dodge, especially because we only have Mist. And Dracula kind of just goes through a set pattern every time. So I don't even think we need the Strength Potion. We'll try to one-cycle Dracula here. This is where dual wielding is going to come into a big play here. We want to do jump slashes because the Holy Sword will hit twice if we do a jump slash. It's just cool like that. Alright, doesn't look like we're going to one cycle. And because we are not very well equipped for this fight in terms of movement, we'll pop the Strength Potion. And actually, for funsies, we'll do something actually really cool here. So we have this Monster Vial 3, and Monster Vials are typically not very good, but the game doesn't do a good job describing what they do. Essentially, Monster Vial does the exact same damage as your Strength, but it hits like on almost every frame. So we place Monster Vial over here. We should get a lot of damage from it. Fortunately, not enough damage to kill. There we go. Oh, there we go. Time. That was convenient. If he did his next attack, we would have been in a bit of a problem. But that's the rando race.
Yeah, so GG's, bro.
Thank you.
GG's. Well done.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining me today, my commentators, and Wild Mouse for building the randomizer, Talek for the tracker, and all the great people in the randomizer community who race with us so often. You guys are all amazing, and thank you everyone for donating as well. It's such a great cause. You've done a good service to people today. Thank you.
Thank you guys
thank you for your service.
Yes. Want to thank you guys for coming in, Dinner Dog, Compacted D, Master of None, for doing and commentating this run. It's a great time to watch, and I love the fact that we managed to fit 5 bonus bosses in and still do an hour 10.
Awesome. Yeah, what a crazy seed this was.
When you put it that way, that's pretty crazy.
It is really crazy.